The lighting is bad. My hair is a mess. I'm a mess. But I think that's just perfect. And I think it's how it's supposed to be. It's funny because YouTube really challenged me to put myself out there. And I've been so crazy blessed by the channel, by all of you guys. But I feel like I am not being truly authentic if I don't post this video and talk about the thing that is the most important to me. And that is the Lord. You can see my videos and it might look like I'm just here to entertain and to have fun and all that different stuff, which I am here for that. But I'm purely here because I felt like the Lord called me to make this channel. And I felt like he was calling me to be a light in a very dark world. And the world is dark, but social media, it can be so deafening because we don't have as much hope in this world. And especially when we were in the pandemic, there was I felt so much isolation and from the isolation, I felt so alone. And the Lord really met me during that time. And times before that, the Lord has been so intentional and he's been so steadfast in my whole entire life. But one thing I really want to talk about is my testimony. What got me here? So I was saved when I was probably around 4 years old, or I thought I was saved. And I asked the Lord into my heart. My dad walked me through accepting Jesus as my Lord and Savior, but I don't think I really knew what it meant. And I was a churchgoer. I grew up in a Christian household, and there were a couple years I really hated going to church. I felt like it was this unnecessary chore on Sunday that we all took part in, when I would rather be at home chilling and not doing this dressing up early in the morning and going to sing hymns and songs and stuff like that. And to make it even a little bit more difficult, I was going to a church that did not teach. The way they taught about the Lord was very harsh. They didn't talk about the love of Jesus. And that really got to me because it painted this false view of God in my head. And then to make matters worse, my mom had always been sick my whole life, but she started getting sicker, was on chemotherapy and all that different stuff. And it was a really dark time for our family and for me. And we just kept praying for her to have healing. And I kept hearing people tell me, like, if the Lord wants to heal her, he can heal her. And it went on for like 8 years and there was no healing. And it was just devastating for me because I was like, if he really loved her, he would heal her. And the false view and that I had of God just got worse, and I got so hard. Watching family members suffer is the most excruciating thing because it's like you love them and you want to take on the pain for them, but there's nothing you can do. And so she was in and out of hospitals. We were desperate for answers, and I just remember begging and pleading with God and just nothing. And it made me so hard towards him. When I tell people that I wanted nothing to do with Jesus, I wanted absolutely nothing. I was like gnashing my teeth, waiting for the day I turned 18 to get as far away as I could from what my family believed. And then when I'm dealing with all this, I heard this song, and it was a very demonic song. And I remember it just planting a seed of doubt in my head that maybe there was something better. And I then had 3 months of restless nights where I would just be sitting in my bed and I could just feel the spiritual warfare going on above me. And in that moment, I knew that the Lord was fighting on my behalf, fighting something I couldn't fight and fighting something that was more powerful than me. And I remember sitting there and I was just crying out to him, Jesus, save me. And I remember feeling the love of God for the first time as I thought about how he went through all this effort to save me. And that something that loves me, and that a father who loves me wouldn't go through all this effort if he didn't want me. And so I started seeing the love and the intentional side of God, where there are people who can try to scare you into believing, but presented as he loved you so much, he did all of this just to make sure that he could spend eternity with you. And the moment that clicked for me was a game changer. And I know I've made videos on this and they went viral, but I also got really sick. Everything I was eating at the time was basically killing my body. Then I got sick with this, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Now I'm sick. And I had promised, and my whole goal in life was to not end up like my mom. And the trajectory was that I was going to end up just like her. And so I got sick for days upon days with an autoimmune issue that I had no idea about, just came out of the blue. And it really tested me because suffering has just been such a huge part of my life. And it just felt like I was getting knocked down yet again. But that's when the Lord really made my relationship with him so firm, of not just believing that I need the Lord in all the bad times, but basically stating that I need him in every single moment of my life. There is not a single day that I can live without the Lord. And it just made me feel his love and his presence even more. After years of praying, my mom actually was finally healed. And that was a crazy journey for my whole entire family. And then I was also healed from my EOE. My mom still struggles with her health, but it's so much better than what it was. She still has bouts and stuff like that, and same with me. I just kind of have to watch what I eat, but other than that, I'm golden. But then after that, Into the Spotlight took place, and the Lord called me into film, and that was a complete roller coaster, and the Lord just used it to concrete my relationship with him even more, and add a relationship in there that really helped me with my relationship with the Lord, because it just pushed me to see how he can protect us from things that we don't see and foresee. Kind of long-winded, and that's a lot, but that's my story, and it has been the best one of my entire life. Knowing Jesus personally as your Lord and Savior and as your friend, you can never go wrong. He is so gracious. Especially through college, I have seen him show up in so many little areas. And when I'm facing challenges and when I have any doubt in my mind, you just have this comfort and this like blanket of peace, knowing that the Lord is working it out all for your good. And as you get older, you just start seeing that the world is so broken and promises absolutely nothing. Even through acting, I have seen. I thought I would feel fulfillment through chasing acting, but I have felt the most fulfillment that nothing in this world can possibly give me through getting to know Jesus personally, through experiencing his love. I had so much guilt coming before the Lord. He wants nothing to do with me. Why would he want me now after I've been so terrible? And the Lord's not like that whatsoever. The church is meant to be seen as a hospital, and it's for those who struggle and whose lives are messy. If you want to personally know Jesus, he wants you. The Lord loves you, and no matter what you've come from, no matter what baggage you carry, it's not going to scare him. When he looks at you, he doesn't see, oh, I don't want her. But he sees his child that he loves, that he says is wonderfully and fearfully made. And he put so much time into making you. And he saw this world and put you here for a reason. Your life has purpose. Your life has meaning. So if you want to get to know the Lord, he wants you. His arms are wide open for all who come. So none are more deserving. It's beautiful. It's unlike all my other videos, but it's important.